Well, hello, everyone. We are here at the Georgia Dome where the Browns won another thrilling come-from-behind victory, 26-24 over the Falcons. Boy, they didn't make this one look easy at all. Brian Hoyer overcoming 3 interceptions. Josh Gordon catching for 120 yards. It was just a wild ride here in Atlanta.
It's like Groundhog's Day for me. I mean, here we go again. Josh Gordon coming back from a suspension in a dome, and the Browns win in the last seconds, just as they did in Minnesota a year ago. Brian Hoyer had 3 interceptions in that game, too. It was an amazing turn of events. I mean, at that fourth quarter, it was incredible. The Browns just seemingly had the game won and kept throwing interceptions, giving the Falcons a chance back. But, boy, Brian comes through. I think completed 4 of 6 on the last drive.
That's right, 4 of 6 on the last drive. He took over with 44 seconds remaining, 3 timeouts left, and he went 4 of 6. He hit big plays too. Of course, Josh Gordon was one of them, a 24-yarder. Miles Austin had a couple of big passes, and then Billy Cundiff comes through again with another field goal in the game. It was tense. It was incredible because on Brian Hoyer's last interception, they kicked a field goal to go ahead, and they only had 44 seconds left to pull this one out. But I'll tell you, Brian Hoyer was so disappointed in himself after this game.
Yeah, and you can understand why. He's a perfectionist, a pro, all the cliches. But he did come through. Yeah, he made his second interception. I thought was one of the worst throws I've seen him make. The ball in the back of the end zone. You can say that Gordon maybe could have had a little bit better effort to go after the ball, but with leading in the game, you just want to kind of run the clock out. If he's not sure, throw it away. Honestly, Mary-Kay, I can't understand why they weren't running the ball down at the goal line, 1st and 6. But you know what? They find a way to win.
You know what? They really did. And hey, again, it was Josh Gordon's first game back off the suspension. He had 8 catches, 120 yards. Forget about all of this easing him back into the lineup. He was ready to go. He is ready to tear up the league and get this team into the playoffs. And you know what? Again, they were a little bit off at times, but to be off, think about this, to be off and to still have 8 catches for 120 yards, that's Josh Gordon.
Yeah, and you know, I just love to watch the guy run. I think he has one of the greatest strides in sports, and it just looked like it just picked up from the end of last season, the plays that he was making. And let's not forget, one of the most alert plays in the whole game was when Terrence West, they were running a trick play, Terrence West pitches the ball to him. It doesn't even come close to Josh. Josh has the presence of mind to just throw the ball away like a quarterback would. It saved him probably a 20-yard loss. They end up scoring on that drive.
Right, and you know what? He said, hey, I was a former quarterback, and I knew what to do in that situation, so that was kind of cool. Isaiah Crowell, he had a huge game in his homecoming here. He's from Georgia. He had the 2 touchdowns, the 26-yard blast. What can you say about Isaiah?
Yeah, it was the running game really played well today. I think they ended up with like 162 yards. Terrence came on late in the game, but yeah, the Crow was impressive. That 26-yard touchdown run, I think every Falcon had a chance to tackle him, and he got into the end zone. Yeah, a real special day for this kid, and you know, if he can hold on to the ball, they've got a pretty good running back in him, I think.
Yeah, they definitely do. He's just so explosive, and you know, if you guys could see him up close the way we do, you could just see how massive he really is. He is just built like a truck, and the Falcons figured that out today. Now, they had some bad news today, and that is Tayshaun Gibson. He was hurt in that collision with Joe Hayden. He left the game on a cart. Then he had crutches with him afterwards. He also got carted to the bus. He will have an MRI tomorrow. Boy, does this look bad.
Yeah, you know, now the Browns really got some decent news last week when we both thought that Jabal Sheard might be done for the season. So let's hold off, but it didn't look good, and it really did not look good. And I think the Browns are probably bracing for the worst news tomorrow on him.
Yeah, that's a right knee injury, and again, it looks very serious. He looked to be in a lot of pain, you know, and he, of course, leads the NFL with 6 interceptions. So huge blow to lose Tayshaun Gibson. But the Browns move to 7-4. It keeps them way in the thick of it in the AFC North race. They're only 1/2 game tied with Pittsburgh right now. Only a half game behind the Bengals, who won today. The Ravens, of course, will play tomorrow night, but boy, the Browns are still right in this thing.
Absolutely. The only thing we don't know is where we're going next week, Buffalo or Detroit or Philadelphia or somewhere. But yeah, they're right in the playoff. This would have been a disastrous loss today. To come back and win this game, like you said, everything's in front of them. All their goals in front of them. They've won for the third time on the road for the first time since 2008. So a lot of good signs.
And we should also mention, boy, what a nice game by Andrew Hawkins. He did a great job in addition to Josh Gordon. And Brian Hoyer became the first quarterback since Brian Sipe in 1983 to throw for back-to-back 300-yard games. So, but I will tell you, boy, was he down afterwards. It was so hard, and people were trying to like encourage him a little bit in the locker room and make him feel a little bit better about this, because after all, it was a victory. But he was really, really hard on himself. I'm sure he'll shake it off like everyone else did. And that's it from the Browns' big victory at the Georgia Dome.